Dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Raj Kishore Sharma, working as an Associate Professor in Chemistry Department, University of Delhi. Today, we are going to discuss about the module Instrumentation of Raman Spectrometer under the paper of Surface Analytical Techniques 2. In instrumentation, we will talk over the basic design on which instrumentation of Raman spectrometer is based. There are two types of Raman spectrometer that we will study in details, and at the end we will study the difference between these two types and what are the applications of Raman spectroscopy. The topics that we are going to discuss in this presentation: the instrumentation, basic design, light source, type of Raman spectrometer, basic components, FTIR, Fourier transform IR, difference between conventional Raman and FTIR spectrometer, why FT Raman spectrometer records a spectrum in less than a grating instrument. Other than this, we will discuss why the FT technique was developed and type of Raman spectrometers. In instrumentation, Raman spectroscopy is based on scattering of light. It is based on the Raman effect, that is, frequency of a small fraction of scattered radiation is variable from frequency of monochromatic incident radiation. It is purely based on the inelastic scattering of incident radiation through its contact with vibrating sample molecules. In Raman spectroscopy, specimen is irradiated with a monochromatic laser beam which interacts with the molecule of specimen and give rise to a scattered light. In the honor of Professor C.V. Raman, Raman spectroscopy was named. He published first paper on this technique along with Professor K.S. Krishnan. Raman spectroscopy is a unique method of analyzing forensic samples. This technique resolves almost all the limitations of other techniques in spectroscopy. This technique has application in both fields as qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative analysis is done by measurement of frequency of scattered radiation, whereas by measuring the intensity of radiations scattered, quantitative analysis is performed. A Raman spectrum is a plot of intensity versus shift in the wavelength. The range of recording Raman spectrum is from 4000 to 10 cm inverse. The range of Raman active normal modes of organic molecule is 4000 to 400 cm inverse. A Raman spectrum is significantly simpler than their infrared or IR counterparts because in normal Raman overtones, combination and difference bands are rare. Raman spectrophotometers can be dispersive or non-dispersive. Prisms and gratings are used in dispersive Raman spectrophotometers, while in non-dispersive Raman spectrophotometers, interferometer such as Michelson interferometer in Fourier transform Raman spectrometer is employed. Earlier, in Raman spectrophotometers, mercury arc lamp was used as light source. Until 1960, 435.8 nanometer line of coiled low pressure mercury arc lamp was used. This laser source completely replaces the mercury lamp source. These laser sources provide stable and intense beam of radiation. Short wavelength sources such as argon ion and krypton ion lasers can produce significant fluorescence and cause photodecomposition of the sample. However, long wavelength source such as diode or neodymium NdYAG lasers can be operated as much higher power without causing photodecomposition of sample and eliminates or reduce fluorescence in most cases. Band pass filters are used to isolate a single beam laser. A combination of notch filter and high quality grating monochromator is most frequently used in dispersive instruments. double or even triple grating monochromators, super notch filters, rejection filters, holographic notch or edge filters, and holographic filters are used to separate relative weak Raman lines from intense Rayleigh scattered radiations. Thermoelectrically cooled photomultiplier tubes, photodiode array detectors were used in early models of dispersive Raman spectrophotometers. Advances in instrumentation and technology replaced these detectors with more sensitive charge transfer devices. These are called CTDs, such as charge coupled devices, CCDs, and charge injection devices, CIDs. These devices act as a detector and used in the form of arrays in CIDs arrays. In CIDs arrays, photosite converts the incoming optical signal into charge, which is integrated and transferred to readout devices. Depending on the area of use, Raman spectrometers can be categorized into two broad classes, that is, lab-based spectrophotometers and in-field, in situ, or downfield use Raman spectrophotometers, which include portable and handheld devices or remote or standoff systems. The basic principle is same in each case, and these systems are differentiated by versatility of an instrument and size and relative cost of its components. More compact components are used in on-site Raman spectrophotometers. Benchtop, handheld, portable, remote or standoff Raman spectrophotometers are available for on-site analysis and research purpose. Low sensitivity due to weak Raman scattering is the major problem associated with this technique. However, sensitivity can be enhanced using resonance Raman spectroscopy, we call it RRS, and surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy, SERS. In RRS, frequency of incident radiation matches with an electronic transition of molecule, and as a result of this match, much more intense Raman spectrum is obtained. SERS was first reported in 1974 by Fleischmann and colleagues. SERS is a modified technique in which sample is adsorbed on a colloidal metallic surface. These surfaces could be silver, gold or copper, and thereby improves the intensity of Raman signals and also quenches the fluorescence caused by cutting agents, diluents and matrices. The combination of RRS and SERS technique, that is surface enhanced resonance Raman spectroscopy, SERS, can amplify the sensitivity up to 10 orders of magnitude as compared to Raman spectroscopy. In conventional Raman spectroscopy, concentration of solution must be high. Fluorescence can also be reduced by exciting the sample with near IR laser such as ND-YAG at 1064 nanometer. We can look at the basic design in which light source, generally a laser, is used to get the required intensity of light. Sample cells to keep the testing material are made up of quartz. Detectors to record the spectrum are generally UV visible type. The light source in Raman spectroscopy is generally a laser to get required intensity of light for reasonable signal to noise ratio. Raman scattering is only 0.001% of the light source. Light source should not be in IR region. Visible source are used because of high intensity. It allows use of glass or quartz sample cell and optics. UV visible type detectors are PMT, that is photomultiplier tubes type. There are two types of Raman spectrophotometers, the conventional and the Fourier transform Raman spectrophotometer. In conventional Raman, number of steps are involved in the recording of Raman spectrum. A specimen is fixed in the sample chamber and laser light is incident on it with the help of a lens. Normally, liquid and solid samples are tested in a Pyrex capillary tube. Solids are examined either as powder or pellets, directly without any sample preparation. Scattered light is conglomerate using separate lenses and is focused at the entrance orifice of the monochromator. Monochromator slit widths are adjusted for the required spectral resolution. The monochromator efficiently removes Rayleigh scattering and the stray light, thus serving as a dispersing element for the incoming radiation. This is to obtain high resolution. Sometimes more than one monochromator is used for better repression of the Rayleigh line. The light escaping the exit opening of the monochromator is collected and focused on a surface of a detector. Coming optical signal is processed to electrical signal within the detector and further changed using detector electronics. Conventional Raman system uses a detector photomultiplier tube. The light intensity at different frequencies is recorded by scanning the monochromator. Simultaneously, recording is done when a multi-channel detector is used as spectral range. As we can see from the schematic, optical lens are needed for illumination and collection of scattered light from the sample. Sources used for excitation are generally visible light. Apart from krypton and argon ion lasers used in routine sample excitation for some special purposes, UV visible lasers have also been used. Monochromator unit is used with a signal decoder system consisting of a data processing unit and a detector. Basic components of a conventional Raman spectrometer are optical lenses for sample illumination and collection of samples scattered light, a source of excitation, usually a visible light laser, monochromator source, and a signal decoder system consisting of a data processing unit and a detector. Fourier transform or FT Raman spectroscopy. The instrumentation requirements of FT Raman techniques and conventional Raman are different. The conventional laser Raman technique is available for quite some time and has also advanced significantly, while FT Raman instruments are recently introduced in the scientific community. The working of first FT Raman was demonstrated in 1986. It is possible that further improve the available FT instrumentation. There is a difference in instrumentation of conventional Raman and FT Raman. In comparison to conventional Raman systems, FT Raman instruments are built around an interferometer, while conventional spectrometer uses dispersive monochromators of different kinds. Interferometer embedded instruments have several benefits over dispersive spectrometers, which uses the gratings. Now, question comes, why FT Raman spectrometer records a spectrum in less time than a grating instrument? Precisely, there are two advantages associated with FT approach, which are known as the Jacquinot and Felget advantages respectively. The latter approach is also called as the multiplex advantage and works on the fact that all wavelengths of light are detected concurrently. Jacquinot advantage is the high throughput advantage of the interferometer. Also, accuracy of the wave number can be achieved in FT spectrum. Raman spectrometers are of two types. These are dispersive and non-dispersive. Dispersive Raman spectrophotometer are equipped with prism or grating, while the non-dispersive Raman spectrometers fitted with interferometer, they are like Michelson interferometer. So this is the basic difference in the instrumentation part of Raman spectrophotometers, that is dispersive and non-dispersive. There are wide range of laser sources are used in Raman systems. Argon ion laser, that is 488 and 514.5 nanometer. Krypton ion laser, that is 530.9 and 647.1 nanometer. Helium neon, 632.8 nanometer. Near infrared or NIR diode lasers, that is 785 and 830 nanometers. Neodymium, yttrium, aluminium garnet, NdYAG, and neodymium, yttrium, orthovanadate, NdYVO4. This comes at 1064 nanometer, and frequency doubled NdYAG and NdYVO4, that is neodymium, yttrium, aluminium garnet, and neodymium, yttrium, orthovanadate diode lasers at 532 nanometer. Photodecomposition of the sample occur due to effective fluorescence when krypton and argon used as short wavelength. To prevent this phenomena, long wavelength sources such as diode or neodymium, yttrium, aluminium garnet lasers can be used, which not only prevent photodecomposition at high power but also reduce fluorescence effect in many cases. Sometimes the peaks obtained in Raman spectra are fairly close due to the highly selective nature of Raman spectra. Thus, the use of high resolution spectrometers is necessary to resolve these peaks. Generally, the configuration of standard spectrometer are 532 nanometer and 785 nanometer wavelengths with possible customization. For high resolution and wide spectral range, these spectrometers offer a variety of configurations. Another alternative to measure a sample is directing the laser light to the sample, collecting the Raman scatter, and directing the laser light to the sample is the use of fiber optic probe. The use of fiber optic probe is included in the Raman spectrometers to resolve the closed peaks. The schematic diagram of a fiber optic probe is shown on this slide. A Raman probe must be capable of directing and focusing the monochromatic excitation source, typically a laser, to the sample, collecting the scattered light and then directing it to the spectrometer. A pure signal is extremely important to Raman spectroscopy. Therefore, a narrow band pass filter is placed in the optical path of the excitation source before it reaches the sample. Importantly, as the Raman effect is extremely weak, the signal must be collected at a 0-degree angle normal to the sample. As the above causes interference from Rayleigh scattering, and therefore it is necessary to filter the signal that is collected via long pass filter before it is directed to the spectrometer. The fiber optic offer flexibility that not only allows the probe to be taken to the solid sample but also allows it to be immersed in slurries and liquids, considering both processes and laboratory environments for real-time kinetic measurements. It can also be connected to microscopes and cuvette holders. Now, we will talk about the ways to improve Raman intensity. Raman signal is normally quite weak and people are constantly improving. Researchers are constantly improving Raman spectroscopy technique. Many different ways of sample preparation, sample illumination, or scattered light detection were invented to enhance intensity of Raman signal. In this, point 1 is stimulated Raman. if the sample was irradiated with a very strong laser pulse, new non-linear phenomena was observed in Raman signal. In comparison with continuous wave CW, continuous wave is referred to CW lasers with electric field of about 10 raised power 4 volt centimeter inverse, pulse lasers with electric fields of about 10 raised power 9 volt centimeter inverse transform a much larger portion of incident light into useful Raman scattering and improve signal to noise ratio. Stimulated Raman scattering is an example of nonlinear Raman spectroscopy. Very strong laser pulse with electric field strength which is less than 10 raised power 9 volt centimeter inverse transforms up to 50% of all laser pulse energy into coherent beam of Stokes frequency. The Stokes beam is unidirectional with the incident laser beam. Only the mode which is the strongest in regular Raman spectrum is greatly amplified. All other weaker Raman active modes are not present. The Stokes frequency is so strong it acts as a secondary excitation source and generates the second Stokes line. The second Stokes line generates the third one. Stimulated Raman technique enjoys 4 to 5 orders of magnitude enhancement of Raman signal as compared to the spontaneous Raman scattering. Point 2 is CARS, C-A-R-S. It stands for Coherent Anti-Stock Raman Spectroscopy. Instead of the traditional one laser, two very strong collinear lasers irradiate a sample. Frequency of the first laser is usually constant, while the frequency of the second one can be tuned in a way that the frequency difference between the two lasers equals exactly the frequency of the some Raman active modes of interest. This particular mode will be the only extremely strong mode in Raman signal. With CARS, we can obtain only one strong Raman peak of interest. In this case, a monochromator is not really required. A wideband interference filter and a detector behind the filter would do the job. The third is resonance Raman or RR. Many substances, especially colored ones, may absorb laser beam energy and generate strong fluorescence, which contaminates Raman spectrum. This is one of the problems with Raman spectroscopy, especially when UV lasers are used. However, it was found that under certain conditions, some types of colored molecules can produce strong Raman scattering instead of fluorescence. This effect was called resonance Raman. The resonance Raman effect takes place when the excitation laser frequency is chosen in a way that it crosses frequencies of electronic excited state and resonates with them. Intensity of Raman bands which originate from electronic transitions between those two states are enhanced 3 to 5 orders of magnitude. SERS and SERRS, SERS and SERRS. Surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy utilizes the following effect. Raman signal from molecules adsorbed on certain metal surfaces can be 5 to 6 orders of magnitude stronger than the Raman signal from the same molecule in bulk volume. The exact reason for such dramatic improvement is still under discussion. However, since intensity of Raman signal is proportional to the square of electric dipole moment, that P is equal to alpha E, there are two possible reasons: the enhancement of polarizability alpha and the enhancement of electric field E. The first enhancement of polarizability may occur because of a charge transfer effect or chemical bond formation between metal surface and molecules under observation. This is a so-called chemical enhancement. The second one takes into account interaction of the laser beam with irregularities on the metal surface such as metal microparticles or roughness profile. It is believed that laser light excites conduction electrons at the metal surface, leading to a surface plasma resonance and strong enhancement of electric field E. It is also called electromagnetic enhancement. There are many areas in which Raman spectroscopy is used. It is extensively used in structural chemistry. This is used in solid-state material science. This is used in analytical chemistry. This is used in applied material analysis. This is used in process control at industries. Microscopy and imaging is another field where Raman spectroscopy is extensively used. In several environmental monitoring processes, Raman spectroscopy is used. Biomedical, and there are many more applications where Raman spectroscopy is used. These are a few applications to name, whereas Raman spectroscopy is a very sensitive and simple tool which is extensively used for material characterization. So students, let us summarize what we have studied today in this module. Raman spectroscopy is based on Raman effect. What is Raman effect? That is, the frequency of a small fraction of scattered radiation is variable from frequency of monochromatic incident radiation. It is purely based on the inelastic scattering of incident radiation through its contact with vibrating sample molecules. It detects the molecular vibrations. Raman scattering is only 0.001% of the light source. Visible source is used because of high intensity. Two types of Raman spectrometers are used. Number one, the conventional Raman, and number two, the FT Raman spectrometer. In conventional Raman, the conventional approach is used. Solids are examined directly either in the form of powder or pellets without any special sample preparation. Normally, liquids and solid samples are tested in a Pyrex capillary tube. The monochromator efficiently removes Rayleigh scattering and stray light. This serves as dispersing element for the incoming radiation. So, to obtain high resolution, conventional Raman system uses a detector photomultiplier tube, generally known as PMT tube. Apart from krypton and argon ion lasers, which are used in routine sample excitation, UV lasers have also been used. The working of first FT Raman was demonstrated in 1986. In comparison to conventional Raman systems, FT instruments are built around an interferometer, while conventional uses dispersive monochromators. Also, accuracy of the wave numbers can be achieved in FT instrument spectrums. This becomes conspicuous when Raman spectra are averaged to enhance the signal to noise ratio. Raman spectrometers are of two types, dispersive and the second is non-dispersive. Dispersive Raman spectrometer equipped with a prism or a grating, while non-dispersive Raman spectrometers are fitted with interferometer, like Michelson interferometer used in Fourier transform Raman spectrophotometer. Photodecomposition of the sample occurs due to effective fluorescence when krypton and argon are used as short wavelength. To prevent this phenomena, long wavelength sources such as diode or ND-YAG lasers can be used. This not only prevents photodecomposition at high power but also reduces fluorescence effect in many cases. Thank you.